Please open mind. Discern this in all information. June 11, 2016. Putin orders all fighter jets grounded after Obama breaks alien treaty. Posted on whatdoesitmean.com. By Sorka Fall. A new report prepared by the Ministry of Defense, MOD, and causing a sensation in the Kremlin, states that President Putin personally ordered the High Command of the Aerospace Forces, AF, to ground all of the Federation's most advanced Sukhoi 27 fighter jets after a week that saw 5 of America's and Russia's top pilots' aircraft destroyed in an apparent retaliation against the Obama regime, which is preparing later today to launch an attack satellite against the most mysterious object ever detected above our planet and known as the Black Knight satellite. According to this report, at 13:51 EDT, 17:51 GMT, today, the Obama regime's United Launch Alliance, ULA, says it will launch the NROL-37 mission for the highly secretive National Reconnaissance Office, NRO, and carrying a top-secret payload but whose true mission is revealed by its Black Knight logo. The Black Knight satellite intended to be destroyed by this NORL-37 mission, this report explains, was first electronically detected in 1899 by one of history's greatest minds, Nikola Tesla, who detected strange rhythmic sounds on his radio receiver in his Colorado Springs laboratory that were in such a regular pattern that he concluded they could only be an effort to communicate with Earth by alien beings. In 1927, the Black Knight satellite signals were again detected, and since then astronomers worldwide have been reporting these strange radio signals too. In the 1950s, the Black Knight satellite was located in polar orbit and astronomers and scientists calculated its weight to be over 10 tons, and on September 3, 1960, 7 months after the satellite was first detected by radar, a tracking camera at Grumman Aircraft Corporation's Long Island factory took a photograph of it. Important to note about the Black Knight satellite, this report continues, are that numerous of its signals have been decoded since the 1960s, with one ham operator stating one message described its origins as being from the Epsilon Bootis star system and its having been in Earth's orbit for 13,000 years. Though this MOD report does contain an extensive file of both the former Soviet Union's and present-day Russian decoding of the Black Knight satellite messages, their high classification rating precludes our being able to report on them aside from the barest minimum, other than to state that this mysterious space object appears to be a warning beacon to inhabitants of Earth not to ever ascend higher in altitude than 11,748 kilometers, 7,300 miles, above our planet's surface. Even worse than the Van Allen belts of dangerous radiation that no human being can pass through, this report continues. In 2014, a group of researchers headed by Professor Daniel Baker of the University of Colorado's Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics discovered a nearly impenetrable barrier some 11,500 kilometers, 7,146 miles, above our planet that blocks so-called killer electrons, which can fry satellites and degrade space systems during intense solar storms. Most critical to note about the Black Knight satellite and its decoded messages too, MOD experts in this report say, is that it, in fact, constitutes a treaty/agreement between its creators and our planet's inhabitants, which in our modern times has never been broken by any nation until the Obama regime came to power. And to the Obama regime's most dangerous act of violating the agreement/treaty between our Earth and the Black Knight satellite, this report continues. It began on May 28 when the top-secret weapon payload for the NORL-37 mission was loaded on a U.S. Air Force C-130 cargo plane at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, for its flight to Cape Canaveral, Florida, and which this mysterious object sent a probe down to observe, and that was videotaped.
What the fuck is that? It looks like it's moving with the clouds.
Oh, did you see this?
What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, it fucking disappeared. What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
5 days later, this report continues. On June 2nd, the Black Knight satellite ejected/released a mysterious object that entered the atmosphere over the western region of the United States that in turn released an unknown number of smaller objects with the main body exploding over Arizona.
Eyewitnesses in Arizona got a surprise early Thursday morning when the sky went from dark to blazingly bright and then back to black. This wasn't a UFO and it wasn't a wayward fireworks display. According to NASA, an asteroid 10 feet, 3 meters, in diameter entered the atmosphere and turned night into day for a brief flashing moment. There are no reports of any damage or injuries, just a lot of light and few sonic booms, Bill Cook, of NASA's Meteoroid Environment Office, said in a statement. He expects there to be meteorites scattered on the ground north of Tucson, in case anybody would like to forge a replica of King Tut's dagger. NASA released a short video from a meteor camera in Arizona. It shows the asteroid approaching from the top of the screen like a growing pinpoint of light. It then completely saturates the frame like some cosmic flashlight turned up to full brightness. Footage from another camera trained on Sedona showed the impressive strength of the light show as the city's red rock cliffs glow under the fireball's illumination. Asteroids reach Earth's atmosphere every day, but this particular asteroid has the advantage of being both incredibly bright and well documented on video.
Within hours of these Black Knight satellite objects hitting the United States, this report notes, one of the elite U.S. Air Force's Thunderbird jet aircrafts, and one of the U.S. Navy's, likewise elite, Blue Angel jet aircraft were reported to have crashed in the first incident of this having occurred in all of history. On June 3 the Black Knight satellite, again, ejected/released a mysterious object that entered the atmosphere above northern Alaska and then exploded in the skies over Oregon, this report says, and 3 days later, on June 6, another of these ejected/released objects traversed the skies over nearly all of the eastern and midwestern regions of America. Within 24 hours of those latest Black Knight satellite mysterious objects being deployed, this report continues, 2 U.S. Air Force F-16CJ fighter jets from the South Carolina Air National Guard's 157th Fighter Squadron, the Swamp Foxes, and whose duties include protecting the Cape Canaveral launch site for the NORL-37 mission, were reported to have crashed too. Even worse, this report grimly notes, less than 48 hours later, on June 9, Major Sergei Yermenko of the elite Russian Knights Aerobatic Squadron was killed when his Sukhoi 27 fighter jet, just like had occurred with the American elite Thunderbird and Blue Angels aircraft, inexplicably fell from the sky and which 2 hours later, in the U.S., NORL-37 mission was scrubbed from its original launch date and time, and simultaneously, in Russia, President Putin ordered all Sukhoi 27 fighter jets grounded. As to the commonality of Federation and American fighter aircraft that the objects deployed from Black Knight satellite used to crash them, this report does explain as it having to do with advanced navigational and communications systems common for these type of war aircraft to be able to be identified by each other, but to the specifics it is much higher classified than we're able to either have access to or report about. To what is expected should the Obama regime be successful in launching their Black Knight satellite killer NORL-37 mission later today, this report does speculate upon, but which, again, we're not allowed to report on, other than to say, and at its absolute worst, many thousands of people in America will be shaken to their core. Thanks for listening and watching. Subscribe and share.